Welcome to today's devotional and welcome to the book of Joshua. As we have just ended Deuteronomy with Moses' death, we now move into the next chapter of Israel. And here in chapter 1, we see the Lord appointing Joshua, now that Moses is gone, as the heir to all that Moses was. To all that Moses was for God and for God's people. He gives promises, just like he promised Moses that his territory will extend, that his people will be safe, that he will not leave him or forsake him. To be strong and courageous, because I will fulfill my promises. Verse 7 says, "Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Keep this book of the law always on your lips. Meditate on it day and night." And this is one of the most exciting elements of the Old Testament, this time where, after all that has gone on before, all the miracles, all of a sudden, Joshua is handed this inheritance of promise. And it's going to be a new time. There's going to be battles. There's going to be experiences and promises kept. There's going to be great times of abundance. And he's going to be strong and courageous. He's going to lead them fiercely forward with God. But with all this progress, he's not supposed to turn away from anything. That the way to be strong and courageous is for him to obey the law, for him to know how to live righteously, to lead the way. In the second half of verse 1, Joshua calls to those of Reuben and Gad to recall the promises made to their fathers. And here, even though they have their own place and their own security and their own comfort at the moment, and by all means their families can stay there, but for now, as a battle is coming, he calls on his brothers to begin to take up arms, to leave their comfort and come and fight for what God has promised. And then they can go back. And so as we enter into Joshua, let's just reflect on a couple of things here. One, that there is promises that are going to be kept, that there are battles that are going to be won, that there is a promised land that we are not in yet that we get to go into. And so to be strong and courageous, to be excited, to be passionate. But that we would do that by keeping the covenant of God with us, by staying true and righteous, by not being ambitious and courageous of our own accord, but to know that when we follow, we are strong. And then also to reflect that as Joshua prepares for this battle, as Joshua prepares to go forward, he calls on his family for help. He calls on greater Israel to be a part of it. And as we reflect and pray and prepare for what comes next, for the promises of God to be made real in our daily lives, that we would feel impassioned and we would feel it worthy to call upon the family of God to go into battle with us. And so, Lord, I just pray that we would be revitalized and passionate like Joshua, that we would see this new chapter of your story and have our hearts awakened by it. Lord, that we would begin to see this world and our lives not as something to merely have and to hold, but as something to fight for and work for and prepare for. And Lord, in all of that, may it be in your will and in your word and in your spirit that we walk forward. Amen.